If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Sun Tzu. Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of a new series I'm going to begin. What's the World Health Organization? Today, in these times, it is important to know who the enemy we are fighting is, because if you know your enemy, you can predict what they're going to do, and if you can do that, you can be multiple steps ahead of them. First of all, the pathogen is a widespread contagious one that has infected over 2,800,000 and killed over 190,000 people as of 25th of April 2020. The first human cases were identified in Wuhan City, China, in December 2019. It is thought that it jumped from bats to pangolins that were sold in a wet market in Wuhan. The pathogen is most commonly known as coronavirus, but its name is neither coronavirus nor COVID-19. COVID-19 is the disease, or the series of symptoms the immune system makes in response to the virus, while coronavirus is a branch of viruses which the pathogen is a part of. Other common coronaviruses include 229E, OC43, HKU1, and MERS. Wait, those sound like alien virus names. Anyways, the virus is actually called Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2, or SARS-CoV-2 for short. But wait, if the pathogen we're dealing with right now is called SARS-CoV-2, then when was the first SARS-CoV? Well, the first SARS-CoV was an epidemic which also began in China in 2003 and infected 8,096 people across 29 countries and killed 774 of them. It was called just SARS by the public, and the last case was reported on January 2004, thus declaring the epidemic over and letting the world breathe a big sigh of relief. So, if we study SARS, can that help fight coronavirus? While studying SARS can help us know more about coronavirus, we should remember that the coronavirus is now a pandemic and is much more infectious and can have different ways of achieving that than SARS. Now, how does coronavirus affect the body? Basically, what coronavirus does once it enters the body is that it infiltrates cells and gives them instructions to produce more coronaviruses. While it does that, it also infects cells that act as part of the immune system and creates confusion, causing it to make lots of destructive weapons which can harm human cells. This in turn makes it easy for bacteria that should be unharmful to take over and destroy the body. In most cases, the immune system usually fights off the viruses before this happens, but in some cases, this can cause severe and critical cases which most probably lead to death. That's why we need to prevent the spread of coronavirus. So, what are the symptoms of coronavirus? When they appear, common symptoms include fever, dry cough, fatigue, loss of appetite, loss of smell, and body ache. In some people, it causes even more severe symptoms, like high fever, severe cough, and shortness of breath, which often indicates pneumonia. How dangerous is it? The answer depends on whether you're looking at the fatality rate or the total number of deaths. As for now, influenza has caused far more total deaths this flu season than COVID-19. This is why you may have heard it said that the flu is a bigger threat. Regarding the fatality rate, it appears that the risk of death with the coronavirus infection, around 7%, is far less than it was for SARS, approximately 11%, and MERS, about 35%, but will likely be higher than the risk from seasonal flu, which averages about 0.1%. Scientists will have more accurate estimate for the fatality rate for this coronavirus infection once testing becomes more accessible. We do know, however, that children appear to be less likely to suffer from severe symptoms. Older adults and those who smoke frequently and those who have chronic diseases such as diabetes and heart diseases have a higher chance of developing complications like pneumonia, which could be deadly. The infection rate of the virus is 2.5, which means that an infected person infects, on average, 2 to 3 other healthy people. In comparison, SARS had an infection rate of 3 and the seasonal flu an average of 1.5. The flu kills more people than coronavirus, at least so far. So why are we so worried? Shouldn't we be more focused on preventing deaths from the flu? You're right to be concerned about the flu. The same measures that help prevent the spread of coronavirus should be taken to prevent the flu. These include hand washing, not touching your face, avoiding people who are sick, and staying away from people if you're sick, and other things we are going to discuss later on in the video. A big difference is also in the prescription the doctor would give you. If you do get sick with the flu, your doctor can prescribe an antiviral drug that can reduce the severity of your illness and shorten its duration. But with the coronavirus, well, there are currently no antiviral drugs available to treat it, so we should do our best to prevent its spread. How to prevent the coronavirus from spreading. So these are some tips from the World Health Organization on how to stop the coronavirus from spreading. You can reduce your chances of being infected or spreading the disease by taking some simple precautions. Regularly and thoroughly clean your hands with an alcohol-based hand rub, or wash them with soap and water. Maintain a distance of at least 1 meter between yourself and everybody. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Cover your mouth and nose with your bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then dispose of the used tissue immediately. Stay home if you feel unwell and follow the rules and curfews imposed in your region. If you have a fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical attention and call in advance. Keep up to date on the latest coronavirus hotspots. Avoid traveling to places, especially if you are an older person or have diabetes, heart or lung disease. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces every day. Wear a mask if it is necessary to go out. Always follow the latest updates from the World Health Organization. But I am not infected, and my cousin is not infected, so why can't I go and visit him? Because you can infect people before showing symptoms. That's right, you can be infected right now and not know it. It takes typically 1 to 14 days to show symptoms, and most people show symptoms within around 5 days. That's why it's important to practice self-quarantine in order to not infect yourself or others, and go out only to buy essential supplies like food. So, who is at high risk of severe infection? People with underlying medical conditions may have increased risk of severe COVID-19. This includes people with blood disorders, chronic liver diseases, weakened immune systems, diabetes, heart disease, lung disease, and women who are currently pregnant or who were pregnant in the last 2 weeks. Wait, aren't scientists working on developing a vaccine? Since antibiotics are ineffective against viruses and there is no antiviral for the coronavirus, we must come up with a vaccine. Currently, experts estimate that the vaccine will be available to the public within 18 months as of the date of publish of this video, and some experimental vaccines are currently in the human experimentation phase. So that sums it up for today's video, but I have a couple of announcements to make. First of all, I am proud to announce that we now have a Discord server up and running so that we can interact with you, the watcher. You can find the link down below in the description, so go and click on it and enjoy the discussions. Second of all, I have made a survey to get to know you all a little better, so make sure to do that as well. The link is also down below in the description. I think that's it for the video. If you would like to learn more about coronavirus, you can always search it up on the internet, and I've also got another video planned about it. So make sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications to be notified about it, and I'll see you all in the next video.